One of the things you're going to notice immediately when you're starting to do reverse lunges is by placing the band at using the half harness setting, you're immediately going to engage your trunk. Keeping the elbows high and crossed will also keep the mid back very upright and stable, which immediately will load the front hip. You want to keep pressure through that heel as much as possible. Now, as soon as you take it overhead, you're going to now increase the lever arm between the center of gravity and your base of support and where the contact of resistance is, so that will immediately engage your trunk much more aggressively. The key will be to go ahead and maintain the low back from going into a arched position while going down into the lunge. You also want to try to keep the weight on the back leg as minimal as possible and just use it as a balance point when you reach back. From there we can go ahead and progress with putting a weight overhead, so now we incorporate more of a vertical vector force along with a horizontal vector force. Now you'll notice that now I have it more at my center of gravity or my hip, which is going to decrease the trunk activation. However, because the weight is overhead, I'm going to immediately regain or reestablish the activation of the trunk due to the weight. So there are three different ways to go ahead and incorporate bands into a reverse lunge exercise. Now, to increase range of motion, you take and use the same band setups, either the half harness hip setup or the overhead setup, and place yourself on top of a 4-inch box. Now when you reach back, you have to go through 4 inches of additional range of motion, which is not only going to increase hip flexor mobility, but it's also going to increase hip load as you have to drive up through the box. This exercise is an outstanding exercise to help develop not only hip explosiveness out of the hole, but it also, by applying the band in certain positions, you can immediately engage a reactive trunk response, which is going to help the athletes establish activation of the trunk while doing a forward acceleration type movement, such as a step up, or in this case, progressing it to running.